gonna show you how I make my paper mache paste as well as my paper clay. Starting with the paper mache, I do 1 cup of flour and then about 1.5 cups of water. I like my paste to be on the thicker side, but you could do 2 cups of water if you want to thin it out. And that is literally all there is to it, but this is optional. You can add Mod Podge or white glue, which is what I like to do. I just think it makes it a little bit stickier, and when it dries, it just adds an extra adhesive component to it, but you do not need to do this. You can just leave it at flour and water if that's all you have. Now for the paper clay, you're gonna want to shred up some paper. This can be regular printer paper or newspaper. It doesn't really matter. I've done both. I just recommend being resourceful and using whatever you have. These are some old documents from our paper trash pile. So I shred that up with my hands and then I'm putting it into a blender. I'm just using a Magic Bullet blender. I will say you don't want to pack it down too much. I made the mistake during this batch. I added way too much paper and tried to compact it. It ended up not blending thoroughly and I had to take some out and keep adding water and stirring it up, and it was just a mess. So don't add too much at one time, but you'll just want to keep adding water and blending it until it doesn't get stuck anymore. Once it looks something like this, you'll pour it out into a bowl or a container. Then you'll want to add some flour. I'm sorry, I really don't have measurements for anything in regards to my paper clay. I just eyeball it until I get the consistency that I want. So I kept adding flour until it got thick, and then this is optional again, but I added some Mod Podge. You don't need to do this. I just feel like it adds a better, stickier texture. I just kept adding flour and mixing it up and testing it with my hands, and once you get it to the point where you can form a solid shape into your fingers and it's not runny and leaking too much water or falling apart, that is when you have the correct consistency. But again, it's completely up to your preference. And I did these both in containers so I can store them until I'm ready to use them, but I wouldn't recommend storing them for any longer than a week because they can start to get moldy. And there you have it, my highly requested tutorial on how to make my paper mache and paper clay.